I've been meaning to create this video, but after today's proceedings, seeing that there was nothing much that really happened, we had the testimony of the of Sergeant Mokhane, look, we were told that he had to stand down until tomorrow. And then there was a driver that came in today. He did not give us much, so I am not gonna waste your time. There was just some few inconsistency there and there, which I think it was about 2 points, but there was nothing much. That's why the court adjourned earlier today. So let's take this moment and talk about the advocate Mshololo and her stubbornness, which tends to lead to it tends to lead to a success in terms of exposing the state and their shenanigans. Today, this episode is dedicated to none other than Mshololo. If you hate her, well, you might as well click away, because in this episode, we're going to be talking about the things that she does and how Advocate Mshololo has got a tendency of asking questions, and Advocate Mshololo is more or less like a person who understands procedure. She's very big on procedure, right? So she's got a tendency of asking certain questions. And when she does ask those questions, right, sometimes you may think that, but Mshololo, why did you ask this question? And she's got a tendency of asking for postponement just to make sure that she verifies certain things. But every time you see Mshololo asking for an adjournment, it is simply because Mshololo has seen something and she just wants to verify that. Advocate Mshololo is such a good lawyer. She's always ready. And, you will hear the judge after Mgomezulu or Ramasepede. Do you have any cross-examination? And Mnisi will say, no. Mumalo will say, no. But never with Mshololo. She always have a question, at least few questions, but she always comes to court prepared. That is what I like about Mshololo. But are you interested to take this journey with me? If you are, then please stick around. As you stick around, there are just few things that I'm asking from you guys. Number 1, subscribe. Number 2, like the video. Number 3, comment in the comment section below. Number 4, you guys need to watch this video until the end. Number 5, you guys need to watch the ads. Guys, you need to become a member of this YouTube channel. You will pay from as little as 20 Rand a month. Thanks to those. Guys, you need to make use of the thanks button in the just below there. Just make use of that button, guys. It does help out a lot. You can donate from as little as any amount of your choice. So yes, guys, recently Mshololo, what she did, she asked that, you know what, I need you to provide me with the OB occurrence, right? When she did that, we thought, man, there's nothing here, Mshololo, man. You know what I'm saying? So after we had gone through, because already we were going through together anyway. So after we have gone through this OP book, which is called Occurrence Book, it is then that we realize, wait a minute. Actually, Ntanzi was booked in at Albertine and then booked out for the Ngoma case, right? After being booked in and booked out for Ngoma case, he was meant to go to Vosloorus for Ngoma case. But he gets to Vosloorus, he then confesses to a crime of Senzo Meyiwa. And we're like, how? But guess who did that? It's Mshololo. Others are saying Mshololo. I read some comments saying she's a bad lawyer. You know what I'm saying? She's a bad lawyer. We thought, she's over. She's over. Martin, it's not over exaggerated, but that word overhyped. Yes. So other people were saying she's overhyped. You know what I'm saying? And we were sitting there and we were like, no. Just because she asked for a postponement, and people don't focus as to when she asks postponement, what usually comes after that. So obviously, Mshololo, when she asked a postponement, it is simply because she has seen something and she wants to see, you know what I'm saying? Because in courts, Look, in courts, what we have is none other than facts. So in court, what works how can I say this? The court will only take facts into consideration. They will not take the preconceived ideas that the lawyers have about the situation. So Mshololo then goes into that OP book, and from there, she then highlights the fact that, wait a minute, you booked him out for Nongoma case. He arrived at Fosloras for Nongoma case, but confessed to Senzo Meyiwa. And us, as the public, we sit there, we're like, wow, what an interesting angle that Mshololo, that slot, not even an angle, you know. Yes, you know what I'm saying? Intuba, it's a smaller thing, like a knowledge, you know what I'm saying? A smaller thing, you know, when we say you just used intuba, it means that this whatever space it was too small, but you used it anyway. That is Mshololo for you. She's able to see the loopholes, as small as they may appear, but she's going to explore that. And when she does explore that, guess what? You will see. Right. Let me take you a little bit back. Mshololo asked for a postponement. Was it postponement? No, Mshololo insisted that we need to have the records that will back it, that will substantiate and back up Thabo Mosia. And I read comments both on SAPC as I was watching the trial, and also on Twitter. Guess what? People were saying, no, this advocate is overhyped. Look now, he's busy asking things instead of going into the case. And guess what? We came back and after being told everything by Thabo Mosia, the next time the record were brought back, guess what? Thabo Mosia was proven to be a liar. He have lied. You know what I'm saying? Lied under oath. Those the books that Advocate Mshololo has been looking for, guess what? Those books proved that Thabo Mosia had lied. We're talking about Advocate Mshololo here, right? Wait a minute. Fast forward. Advocate Mshololo speaks about a form that was supposed to be signed as they are handling or as they are doing the interview in the boardroom. I am beginning to understand this about Advocate Mshololo, because in this YouTube channel, we don't care whether you are a male or female. We don't care whether you are a child or what. What we care about is excellency. When we see excellency, we have no choice but to praise it. Because in this channel, it's not about gender. We will praise Advocate Mngomezulu. We will praise Ramasepede. We will praise Advocate Ngumalo. And we will also praise Advocate Mshololo. Because we don't care about gender here. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, right? We don't care about gender. We care about excellency. We care about right doing. That's what we care about. Speaking about us, caring about right doing. So I decided that we need to dedicate this particular episode to this woman. I've seen every time when she goes to court, she will always have something to contribute. Maybe it speaks of the fact that she has been a prosecutor before for the state. So she understands procedure. Maybe it speaks volume of that. But the bottom line is that she is using that. One will argue and say, but Advocate Mnisi as well has been an advocate for the state. But sometimes he will just choose not to engage in those things. Choose not to ask questions. But not Advocate Mshololo. She always have something to ask. And guess what? That woman is going to trouble you. Let me say this. I will say it straight into her face. If I had a privilege of growing up with Advocate Mshololo, and I had an opportunity to propose to her, Guess what? I wouldn't have done that. And I'll give a simple reason. You know, my intellectual capacity is just on another level, and I wouldn't want to complicate myself. But I wouldn't like if I had to, I would be selfish enough not to allow her to be taken by another man. But what I will do, I'll keep her as my side chick. You want to ask a question, why don't you promote her into the main? It's because she's going to trouble you, you know? Well, as a Christian, I believe that I need to have one wife. So I'm just making an example. It's not necessarily a real thing, right? I need to have one wife. But again, speaking about one wife, the reason I'm talking about this, when you're looking at Advocate Mshololo's preparedness and readiness to attack and explore a simple space, it is because when you take that and you compare it with Advocate Mshololo in her real life, guys, I can tell you this, it's very difficult. I wish I can say this. It's very difficult to separate Advocate Mshololo, the lawyer, and Advocate Mshololo, the wife. With that being said, I'm gonna demonstrate this after saying this. So, the reason I say I wouldn't have wanted her to be a wife, she's good, she will trouble me from a distance. Whenever I need advice, she will be there. Whenever I want an intellectual conversation, I will be there. Because with us, man, whenever we interact with women, it's always about emotions. Women respond to us based on how they feel about what we are saying instead of debating the fact on the table. So with Advocate Mshololo, she's capable of debating the fact and she's prepared. So I will say, if I were to mesh Advocate Mshololo, I will say she needs a husband that is either twice intelligent as her or dumb. Because if you have a same level of intellectual with her, there will always be she'll always attempt to outsmart you. You know, that's a funny part about women. They always want to control. So if you are at the same level of intellectual with her, guess what? She will feel like she is over you. And remember, I said to you, it's difficult to separate. It's difficult to separate Advocate Mshololo, the lawyer, when she's at home, with Advocate Mshololo, either the wife or whatever. Let me demonstrate this. Give me this a little bit of time. Let me demonstrate this. This is a problem that I usually have when if I go into, if I had to go into a date, or I'm taking somebody out, maybe with an intention of knowing that person better. So this is usually my problem. When I get there, usually people say I tend to ask questions. You know what I'm saying? And so I try to remove Bongane, the one who asks investigative questions, from Bongane, who is supposed to be a boyfriend or a friend. You know what I'm saying? Or, you know what I'm saying, just a date. So the Bongane that is used to asking questions, Bongane that is used to asking questions and explore a smaller space, it's difficult to separate that Bongane. Look, because with girls, it's usually a difficult thing to do. Because I'm going to ask you a question. And guess what? The reason I say it's difficult to separate yourself from something that you are used to doing it on a daily basis, it is because I went into a date with somebody for the first time. You know, we don't know each other. Before the end of that date, guess what the person said? The person said to me, your questions. This lady was like, "Hi, Bongane, you can ask questions." You can ask questions. You know what I'm saying? And now I'm struggling to separate the two. You know what I'm saying? Separate the Bongane that has to interact with you and ask relevant question when I'm doing videos like this. You know what I'm saying? With the Bongane that is going into a date, that's usually my struggle. So that's the reason I said to you, okay. Do you remember I said to you I was going to demonstrate to you why I am saying Advocate Mshololo deserves a man that is either twice her intellectual capacity or lower very low, a little bit of dumb husband, you know what I'm saying? In order for that home to have a bit of balance, it's because of things like that. Because it's difficult to separate Advocate Mshololo the lawyer with Advocate Mshololo the wife. Do you get what I'm trying to say? In that, I am not necessarily saying it's a bad thing for Advocate Mshololo to be what she is. I am just saying she's damn good. And we need to appreciate the fact that she is doing exceptionally well. Right, speaking about her doing exceptionally well, I will not be shocked if Advocate Mshololo end up. I will not be shocked if Advocate Mshololo end up being an advocate or representing a high-profile case. I'm not talking about the one that is coming up, which is Thabo Baxter. I believe she deserves to be in that. Even though when it comes to the Thabo Baxter story, I am not with Advocate Mshololo. We are going to face each other because on that case, I am with the state. But when this one of Senzo Meyiwa, I am with the defense. You get a point? So when we get there, I know I'm against her. So she's doing a high-profile case, but I can tell you this. If she can continue to do what she's doing now, chances are we're going to see Advocate Mshololo representing president, like a former president or like she's going to continue to climb as high as she could because we can see her. Look, even other people are seeing what we are seeing. She's always ready and she's always prepared, and she doesn't ask questions for the sake of asking questions, but she asks questions for the sake of moving from point A to point B and demonstrating a particular point. And I like the fact that she stands her grounds these days. You know what I'm saying? Those are the things that we see, and we are saying in this episode, let us take this opportunity to appreciate this person who's doing exceptionally well and uphold her and tell her and give her her flowers while she's still alive. You know what she's still alive, because we don't want to be the ones that stands on the grave and say she was good. No, we need to say it now. You know what I'm saying? While she's still alive, let her smell her own flowers. You know what I'm saying? Let us be those that encourage people when they are doing good. You know, one of the major reasons why we need to learn to appreciate people when they are doing good and whilst they are still alive, it is a best and a better way of encouraging somebody to do good. You know what I'm saying? Whenever you see a person that is doing good, the best way to make them do even more good, you know what I'm saying, on top of what they are doing, is to go to them and say to the person, listen, you are doing well. This and this is good. You know what it does? It shows the person that you are for the person. Even when the person is wrong, you will be able to go to the person and say to the person, listen, here and here and here and here, you are wrong. Don't do 1, 2, 3. Don't do it this way, rather do it that way. You know what I'm saying? Things like that, it shows the person that, listen, this person is for me. You know what I'm saying? That's the best way. If you want to rebuke somebody, that's the best way you can rebuke somebody. If you want to talk to the person. Because if you are only talking when they are doing bad, it means like you've got no interest in their life. Whatever good they are doing, you don't see it. So what's the point of listening to you when you rebuke them? You know what I'm saying? So in other words, as we conclude this, what it does, it gives you the right, if you are constantly telling people and appreciating them when they are doing good, it gives you the right to tell them, and they will listen to you when they are wrong. You will tell them you are wrong here because you are always the one who will tell them when they're doing good. They are most likely to listen to you. That is what we are doing. And also, we will move away from the tendency of appreciating people when they are dead. We want to appreciate people whilst they're alive. Give them flowers whilst they can smell them. Tell them they are doing good. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Speaking about telling them that they are doing good, That's just one of those moments that I didn't like. You know what I'm saying? I remember there was a confrontation in the court when Judge Ratamo Kgatleng was confronting Advocate Mshololo and telling her, "Why are you loud? Why?" You know, at some point, the judge makes remarks such as, I don't know how people are taught. People are talking while we are talking. You know what I'm saying? That means they are talking over you. I have a problem with the honorable judge, that the honorable judge has got the tendency of talking over people, but the honorable judge does not want people who talk over him. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing that I wish my honorable judge can fix. You know what I'm saying? Also, just on the side note, things that need to be fixed in court. They've got the tendency of cutting words, and professionally that shouldn't be the case. You know what I'm saying? You should not cut words. And a word that I can tell you that they've got, I've had them multiple times using, and they're using it shortcut, and that word is privy. They always say you are privy, you know what I'm saying? That you should not use that word in a professional setup. You don't cut words. You cannot use the word lol. You cannot use the word sure or grand in a professional setup. You need to use words in full. You know what I'm saying? Yes. So yeah, I want you guys to look. I want you guys to help me appreciate Advocate Mshololo. If you know Advocate Mshololo, tell her that I say I love her, right? Also, tell her that I say I want to interview her. Send her this video. Tell her that I say I am going to interview her, right? Tell Advocate Mshololo that I am going to interview Advocate Mshololo, right? Yes, I'm going to interview Advocate Mshololo. We're not going to be talking about the case. We will be talking about just general things. You know why we're not going to be talking about the case? It's because I am aware that they are not allowed to talk about a case that is on progress. So she will not be allowed by law to actually talk about a case of Senzo Meyiwa while she's part and parcel. But when we meet, we are going to talk about when are we doing the interview. But when you see her, or if you happens to come across my video and you've got her WhatsApp number, share this video with her. Tell her, and this is me saying to you, share with this video with Advocate Mshololo. And to Advocate Mshololo, I'm waiting for you to come to my podcast. And we will be talking about a lot of things, except the Senzo Meyiwa case, as it's on progress. Right? That's my message. You are one of the guests that I will interview. And I know for a fact that I'm going to interview you. Right? Guys, I pray daily. I'm serious about it. I pray on a daily basis that, you know what? I want to interview this person. Right? Help me realize that dream. I'm not joking when I say I pray. Like I pray on a serious note. I pray on a daily basis. I always say, God, my dream is that I want to interview this person. I want to sit with this person, and I will sit with Advocate Mshololo. You know what I'm saying? I want to sit with Advocate Ramasepede. I want to sit with Advocate Mnisi, Advocate Ngumalo, Advocate Ngomezulu, right? I want to sit with these people, right? If it will be during COVID, during the trial, we're definitely not going to be talking about the case because that will jeopardize a lot of things. We will also, but I mean, I can guarantee you that we will talk about a lot of things, right? We will educate a lot of people. To those who wants to sit on my podcast, right? You just have to tell me. I'm looking for people who've got a story to tell, people who have, you know what I'm saying, people who've got a challenge, who have gone through this whole thing of justice and all the stuff. You are invited. We can sit and we can have a podcast together. We can have an episode, a full episode. You know what I'm saying? If you are in the police service, I'm interested to talk to police. I'm interested to talk to detectives, investigating officers, I want to talk to you guys. I'm interested to talk to people whose cases got thrown away, people who have served. You know what I'm saying? People who said, I was there, I was in prison, but only to find that I did not do it. I'm interested to talk to such people. The podcast is going to grow, right? I'm waiting for you. You're going to have to WhatsApp me, send your WhatsApp number, tell me your story. To those who want me to share their stories, continue to write a story. Do not, guys, please. If you want me to share your story in my podcast, it's easy. You just have to use the WhatsApp number, write, say your story. If ever you need to add anything that needs to be added, please add it. But please bear in mind, if you've been in court, there must be an open number, there must be a case number. Like, we need such facts as we present your story. It shouldn't be just about a story. No. The story must have facts. Having said all of that, guys, you and I, guys, will meet in the next video. But until that next video, good people, show Mshololo some love.